Hi Virgo, and welcome to your October 2021 reading. I'm excited you're here with me. Thank you for tuning in. I will talk about general energies in the beginning of the reading. I will talk about a relationship dynamic or situation in the second part of the reading. This can also be partnerships, friendships, family dynamics, but overall, of course, it mostly resonates with love and love relationships. This can also be a situation that you're dealing with from the past or a situation that you're working through still, and you want more insight and more support in your own work and in your healing work. So let's look at also the astrology a little bit in the beginning of the reading. Also, you find everything you need in the description box below. Of course, you find my social media channels, you find my Amazon wishlist, you find my PayPal channel. So everything that you're looking for, you probably find there. And otherwise, just leave me a comment. Subscribe to this channel, and now I'm getting started. All right, so Knight of Swords, Seven of Wands in reverse, and the King of Wands in reverse is the general energies for this month for you. This is interesting because in the German reading, I do this in German as well. So the King of, or the Knight of Swords came out face down. So that for me is an indication that maybe something has to unfold throughout the month, which makes a lot of sense here with the Saturn moving direct and Jupiter moving direct in Aquarius, and those are two planets that moved retrograde for quite some time, so they are now really bringing a new energy. They're slow planets, so it's not going to be this big switch. I think it's going to be a very slow movement, but we will see things unfolding a little better with Jupiter especially, and with Saturn we might have more results when it comes to really working through the deeper rooted problems in our life, and we might now be able to take action when it comes to karma, when it comes to burning off karma, when it comes to really changing the things, changing how we do things. And this is a big theme for you here with changing how you do things, because the King of Wands is in reverse, Seven of Wands is in reverse, and the Wands energy in general is about action, how we do things, the ego moving us forward, passion, putting your heart into activities. And with the Seven of Wands in reverse, I feel like there is a moment of realization where to set better boundaries, where it sometimes maybe is destructive to wait too long to set boundaries, and therefore then we get into a position of being overly defensive maybe, or overreactive, because we kind of oversaw, or we didn't really pay attention too much to setting boundaries, and then people come too close or people overstep, and we have to react a little harsher. I see some harsher reactions here with the King of Wands and the Seven of Wands in reverse, or some fiery reaction, some overreaction maybe from your side. Maybe things are triggering you that bring you out of balance, or it's bringing you into a situation where you not necessarily know how to act specifically and what you actually want to go after. I see there is a strong element of figuring out during the month, understanding clearer why you do certain things. So I feel like there is really a big realization with the Knight of Swords on karmic behavior, you know, where you're like, this is why I do that. Oh, interesting. This is why I reacted that intensely to this specific person or work colleague or family member or situation. And as I said, I think really throughout the month there will be more and more analyzing, realizing, understanding of dynamics that kind of like set you off, I want to say, with this King of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Wands in reverse. It can be about you also trying to figure out what a new emotional path can be like for you, and still thinking more about it than acting on it, with the Ace of Cups in reverse here. This could be in work, this could be in relationships, but in general, October is a month of relationships, and we have a new moon in Libra. We have all these planets going retrograde and direct again. We have Mercury going retrograde in Libra. So there can be revisiting of old relationships, of old relationship dynamics, and figuring out more your place in this and your actions in this, and what leads to maybe unwanted reactions in another person or within yourself. And that has to do a lot with boundaries here with the Seven of Wands. Standing in for what you want, really also fighting for what you want, also setting those clear intentions and acting on them as well. So in a relationship situation, we have the Fool, we do have the Judgment card in reverse on the other side. So your side is the Fool. I don't switch around energies here. This is very specific, your energy. But on the other hand, I'm obviously reading in a way that I know people are mirroring each other, but I still think it gets too confusing otherwise. The Fool says a new start, a new beginning, new visions also for how to live relationships, maybe how to live a specific relationships. This can be also taking a leap of faith into a new direction, but I'm not sure if you're necessarily taking a leap of faith and leaning into an old dynamic. I think even if there is an old person, you're really trying to lead the way out of this triggering dynamic, I want to say here, and reactive dynamic into a new sort of vision of your connection. And in general, I think what's really coming through here for me is like setting people off, or you being set off by people, and having a hard time controlling that with the King of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Wands in reverse. It's just a pretty intense indicator for maybe you're fighting or you're in a weird fighting dynamic. There's no devil card here, so I wouldn't say it's like this really crazy, obsessive, weird, addictive, toxic thing, but it's just maybe, you know, when certain things are said or done, it can just bring a very heated situation. So I think you're trying to move out of this. Also, you might be trying to move out of connections with player type people who are in and out, who are also trying to trigger you, to kind of manipulate you. And this other person or this other energy here, or these other energies, I think they don't fully understand your vision forward and cannot really see that calling. They might not have the same calling here with the Judgment card in reverse. But what you both have in common here is that yes, there is something better than this kind of living out connections with the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups doesn't necessarily mean moving away from a connection, but it is really about moving to a higher emotional place than the one you are in right now, or you're at right now. And it indicates sometimes just having a really hard time moving on from that place emotionally, because you're so used to it, you're kind of stuck in that kind of emotional realm. So what helps is thinking independently, because with the Nine of Cups, from the Eight of Cups to the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Cups really speaks about emotional independence, maturity, understanding your feelings, being able to manage them, and really being self-reliant also when it comes to your emotions. So either in a connection or out of a connection, it is always a good time to, especially when there is very unsettling dynamics, to really concentrate more on how do I feel, how do I feel about things, do I feel fine, and then you are ready again maybe to go into another discussion, confrontation, conflict solving situation. So it seems like both parties here, or both sides of a connection, and also the energies you're drawing in right now, are like, okay, I want to actually be also emotionally independent in a relationship or in a connection enough that I don't get set off too much by things not going my way, you know. So yeah, I think there might be chances presenting itself to you, but they might not feel emotionally fulfilling when it comes to love right now. We have the 7th house here, so yes, this is a lot about restarting, pushing the reset button in relationships. So 7th house, relationship house, and it fell on the Fool. And in the beginning of the month, also with these two Astro dice, the Saturn and Cancer Astro dice. I think in the beginning of the month you will really look at karmic dynamics in relationships, and it can also be about mother dynamics. It can have to do with a mother complex kind of thing, or how your mother maybe lived out certain dynamics that you might have inherited, you know, karmically. And I think you're really analyzing more, understanding more, working more through that. Or there's a chance to work through that with the Saturn and the Cancer Astro dice. So as an art oracle card, we have Gustav Klimt, which is wonderful because he's from my home country, Austria, and I do live in Vienna, for the ones who don't know that. So yeah, that's my home buddy. He says every portrait is a self-portrait, and then he says if no group will have you, start your own. And then also, like gold, eroticism fluctuates with the times. I really like that first one, every portrait is a self-portrait, because it really tells us also in relationships how much we project on people, how much we want to see in people. That is very much our own understanding of what we want to see in people, what is maybe not there, how much do we paint a person in our own image or our own kind of vision. And it is important here to think about the vision as well. And when I look at the Fool, he has some sort of Art Nouveau kind of dress on here, or top, and kind of corresponds with the whole style of that era. So he is all about the vision, the new vision for something, and how do you want to paint this other person, this portrait of this other person, and how much do you want to put yourself in there, and how much do you want to just have this person be their independent self. Yeah, so that's really interesting here with Gustav Klimt, I think. Let's pull some charms. Okay, a lot of stones. A lot of gemstones. It's super emphasized right now to stay in your true self. Express yourself and show yourself fully with the carnival, and also show yourself fully when it comes to your emotions. I think and again, double amethyst, double carnival. Your third eye is wide open, so let the universe inspire you. The Fool gets inspired by the universe. He's very open to what the universe sends him. The full moon can be a big indicator for you here with the moon charm. Where things can come to the surface when it comes to your ego, because it's a full moon in Aries, and when it comes to what you actually want. This other person, if there's a specific person, wants to work on that connection. They do also see things very grounded, very clear, but maybe from a little bit of a different perspective, from an earthier perspective maybe. But they do want to work on it, and they can see enjoying the work. Maybe give them a chance to see or give them some time. They might take some time to realize and to see clearly and to see the situation for what they is. Here with the tigers, there's so many stones coming out, and stones for me is about materializing and manifesting. So there is a big chance to manifest, I think. There might be some codependency issues that you still want to heal. I want to say you understanding that because the 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups jump is about getting more independent with your own emotions, not making this other person or another person in general too responsible for how we feel. Of course, people can tick us off, but sometimes people do it purposefully, and because they know they can. And that's not, I'm not saying that we are all that zen, you know, that we just don't react anymore, but it's just a realization of how much power do I give a person over my emotions, and how can I maybe change that or better that. There is, again, a root chakra attachment here. Yes, there is a sexual attachment, which is not necessarily a bad thing, can be healthy. I think there's also safe attachment here. You're looking for safe attachment, both are looking for safe attachment, and I think you're also drawing in partners or people who, in general, who are looking for safe attachment. That's a good thing. You're really also drawing people in who are coming from a place of love. With the jade stone, there's so many stones. Wow, it's really, really fascinating. And what's really important, I think, for you is staying true, and for both of you, is staying true to yourself in the creative process and not compromise your true self for another person. That's really, for both of you here, very important. So yes, if there's a specific person, I see that you can really work through that, through moving to a higher plane emotionally, and walking away from a space in the connection into a better space in the connection. I do see that being possible, especially if it's something that is going on for longer and it's not somebody you just met during the Mercury retrograde, because that is most of the time not necessarily the most promising, but you know, you never know. Astrology is not a rule book to live your life by. It is a fun tool to help you develop yourself, and that's how I use it. So yeah, this is your reading, dear Virgo. Thank you so much for being here. Check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars, and please subscribe and like and comment, and I hope I'll talk to you soon. Bye.